Good evening. Today's lecture is on inflation and the fact that it is a tax, and it's really the way it operates. And my mouth is not in sync with my voice, but that's just how it is. Okay, so the way it operates, it's like an inverse graduated income tax, so that the people at the bottom pay more at a percentage of their whatever they have, whatever their income is. They pay a higher percentage of this inflation tax than going up the scale. So at the very top, the people who receive the money from the Federal Reserve via these big banks who get that money for like a percentage or less of interest, they spread it around amongst themselves. They continue to make money. They continue to profit, to gain even more power, and they do it with this fiat money. Well, when this fiat money goes out there, whether it's through the government programs or through the private banks, allegedly private, the private banks, yeah, they are private banks. Okay, so inflation occurs. So we can predict that inflation. And the fact that we have this fiat system which creates this inflation, which benefits the few at the top, who are actually supposed to trickle down on us, which is bullshit in itself. But it's obscene, and it's a tax. It's got to be considered a tax. Straight economists will tell you it's a tax. It's the way governments slip money. It's a sly tax. And again, the people at the bottom, basically every unit of money that they have is reduced in its purchasing power. That's what inflation does to them. And they can't keep up with, their wages don't keep up with that. Whereas the people at the top, they get further ahead. They're way ahead of the inflation curve. They don't worry about that stuff. They got this money to use. So it's obscene. It's a tax. It's illegal. It's taxation without representation. It violates the Equal Protection Clause. It's Congress opting out of taking care of business. It's a big lie. And again, it's a tax. And what people have to do is people have to stand up. Now, I used to represent tax protesters back in the 1980s. And these people were white, they were Hispanic, they were black, they were Jewish. And I mention that because at the time what the media did is they focused on these white, racist, anti-Semites, groups like that, and so they colored the entire movement and helped to squash it. That's how scary tax protest is. And by the way, I would never tell people not to pay their taxes, because if I did that, I'd get into all this kind of trouble. So I would never tell people to do that. No, never. I never would. And you'd get in trouble if you didn't pay your taxes. So there you go. But I'm telling you, it's real wrong what's going on, and this is just part of the picture. There's so much corruption going on in our system, and this is an ugly part of it. There you go, and thank you.